Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about why a calorie is definitely not a calorie. Despite all those people thinking that calories in equals calories out, because it doesn't. A calorie is not just some anonymous unit of heat energy. It matters what a calorie is made of. Its substance. The human body has many feedback loops in it, evolved to keep you, save you from yourself, save you from your environment, because the brain doesn't want to die. Now that you've grown this big complex beast and traded in a nice gut, you could have been a monkey or an ape, other ape. You know, a big strong gorilla, a nimble monkey, bonobo. No, you had to be human. Get this big brain. So for a creature of your size, you've got more brain than you need and less stomach, less gut. So this means you have to digest. You should eat only the most nutrient dense and energy dense foods you can find, and that means animals. Sorry vegans, but that's just the way it is. I shouldn't have to eat massive salads all the time just to keep me going. Why? When 4 ounces of meat and 5 ounces of fat will do the same job. In other words, lunch. Okay? Now this is because homeostasis says only 1 teaspoon of sugar in your blood. Therefore, it made insulin the strongest, most powerful of the 4 hormones that control your eating behavior and how your food is used by your body. Now you have ghrelin, which is stimulated and released from the stomach. It says, I'm hungry, feed me. Now, your fat cells have leptin. Their job is to say, I'm fed, go forth and do work. Stop eating. Okay? Now you have glucagon, which tells your alpha cells in your pancreas to release some sugar to give you your second wind when you need it. To keep your blood sugar where it needs to be. Can't be too low or else it's curtains. Hypoglycemia, not a good thing. And then you have insulin, which directs the whole circus here and also removes toxic levels of sugar from your blood and isn't very picky about where it puts it. Okay? And you don't need to eat sugar. You need to eat protein and fat, preferably from animals, because of bioavailability. You don't need carbs. Why? Because your liver will make it for you. Your beautiful liver sitting right about there on the right hand side, tuck up there right in the bottom of your ribs. It's so important, in fact, that's the only one that can regrow itself to keep you alive. It's a survival advantage. Now, as early humans, we had to endure winter, for example. We had to endure famine, flood, all the rest of that stuff. We still do have to endure some of it. But usually you don't have to fatten for the winter. Texas accepted, of course. But, you have indoor heating, central heat. You have power, you have electricity. You have physical energy in your body because you're eating meat and fat, which you need every single day because those two you cannot make yourself. All right? If you can't make it, you have to eat it. It's just that simple. So, there's the whole thing that you can't say a calorie of fat is the same as a calorie of sugar. You can't. Because the substance is different. Therefore, it's digestion, it's processing that the body undergoes is different. Now, sucrose. What is sucrose? It's a disaccharide. So, you have glucose on the one hand, and you have fructose on the other. Now, glucose, the bond between the two is broken in a nanosecond, and glucose, whoosh, we know how to do that. Insulin goes, grab, but stores in the muscle as glycogen for subsequent use in case you need your second wind later on. No problem. Got it handled. Fructose, on the other hand, is only processed by the liver, is not recognized by the brain, so that can of regular soda filled with sucrose is the same thing in your liver as that can of beer that gives you the high. So, all the insult to the liver, same number of calories, it's a wash without the hit. So, can of beer might as well be the same thing as a can of Coke and vice versa. You're not doing yourself any favors. It doesn't matter to your liver if it's non-alcoholic or alcoholic fatty liver disease. It's pretty much the same thing because of fructose. And now what do we see? In the last 30 years, high fructose corn syrup is everywhere and in everything that counts as processed food. They pump it in because they know you want it. They know you love it, and they know you'll keep buying it. Because it's sweet. Sweet. And humans adore sweet. It only takes one hit, and a baby will eat anything if it's sweet. You have to introduce a savory food 13 times before a baby will eat it. Even if it's bacon. Introduce it 13 times, and then maybe they'll eat it. On average. But sweet, only one hit is needed. Because you're built to be addicted to it. Because you need it in order to fatten for the winter. Oh, Darwin's wicked. Darwin is wicked. We aren't bears anymore. We never were bears, and we don't live like bears now. We don't need to fatten for the winter. But we do need to fatten if we're pregnant or if we're a growing child. Then we need fat. We need that extra store, that saving for a rainy day. Because humans have an unlimited ability to store fat. Their use of fat is controlled by their level of insulin. Their level of insulin in their blood, because insulin blocks leptin. And without that signal, the brain tells the pancreas and the stomach and everything to just say, feed. Feed the hunger. Feed the hunger. You're still hungry. I'm starving. Feed me. Ugh. So you're fat and sick and sick and fat. And you're always hungry, hungry, hungry. Always. Because your brain has not received the leptin signal. It does. So your appetite is not turned off because your insulin remains too high. This is why the way to lose weight is to flatline your insulin by stopping all carbohydrate ingestion ever, always, at all moments of your life. Once you finish growing, once you're not pregnant, off with it. No more carbs. It really is easy to do because you get to eat things like slow roasted, rolled pork belly with crisp crackling, dripping with savory fat, rich and toasted over a rotisserie on a fire. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go get and eat something now. Because I've had slow roasted pork belly and it is better than bacon. It is, with just a hint of Medlar on the side. Oh, Nirvana. Sorry. You can't eat much of it. It's so rich. It's so succulent. It's so decadent. You can't eat much. In fact, it might take you until 24 hours before you can eat anything after that because it's just so fulfilling that the leptin reaches the brain in a nanosecond and it's there going, yes. And that's great because then you lose weight and you end up with a gorgeous figure. And yet you have all that rich nutrients, all those rich nutrients in you. All of it. It's great. All the vitamins, minerals, everything. So long as it is grass-fed, grass-range, free-range, organic pork belly. Perfect. Wild-caught fish. Tuna, no. Because they give the best part of the tuna to the cats. What, you thought those little ladies eating cat food were silly? No. That's where the dark meat of the tuna goes. You get the white meat, which tends to be a little dry, like turkey. But salmon, wild-caught salmon, yes. How about mackerel, herring, sardines, anchovies? Herring and cream sauce. All those good things from around the world that people have made delicious foods from. The foods that they save for special occasions because they're just so wonderful. Yeah, those are the ones you want to be eating all the time. Okay? Bacon and egg. Just think of the rich flavor of that yolk. Yes. Whites, meh. It's protein. That's all you can say about it. But everything else is in that yolk. Yummy. So, there we are. Why a calorie isn't a calorie? Because it isn't anonymous. It has a substance. And it's that substance that will react with your hormones to determine what happens to all that food energy, all those nutrients in that food. What's done with it? Where is it put? How is it used? Excess sugar is the bane of your existence. So it does matter what you eat as opposed to how much you eat. And trust. One thing we do know for sure. You will continue to eat until your protein requirements have been met. So eat meat and fat, and you can eat less and spend less and have more delicious, more nutritious food than if you go spend it on macaroni or other sundry carbohydrate-laden rubbish, grains, so on. Nah. Empty calories. Any nutrition you find in them are those that humans have manufactured into them, processed and put there, along with the high fructose corn syrup to get you keep coming back, even though you're feeding yourself and your family rubbish. So no, don't try to tell me calories in, calories out. Rubbish. Because a calorie is not a calorie. Thank you for watching. Please, I hope this helps.